What's good, YouTube? What's good, PlayStation Nation? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona and one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. And I'm coming back with another video, man. We talking about this Sword and Fairy Together Forever that just released on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on August 4th, which was Tuesday. And let's talk about it, man. Now, the proper name for this game is actually The Legend of Sword and Fairy 7, right? So this is a Chinese game and a Chinese developed game, right? And I doing my research, because I never really knew anything about this series, but the gameplay for this game really caught my attention, right? So I did some research and whatnot, and come to find out, this series has been alive for 27 years. Wow, right? So this is a very, very popular series. So this game is developed by the Chinese development studio called SOFTSTAR. It's both published and developed by SOFTSTAR, right? And so, like I said, this game did release on August 4th, 2022 on PS4 and PS5, right? So let's get straight into it, man, right? So I'm going to come out and say it right off the bat, right? What really grabbed my attention with this game, because I seen the trailer a couple months back on PlayStation, YouTube channel, where the gameplay, the environment, it grabbed my attention. It really grabbed me. I was like, damn, this is pretty dope. You feel me? Like, I was really feeling what I was seeing. The characters look cool. I was liking the combat, everything. It really intrigued me. So that's really what pulled me into wanting to even pick this up. Just off the strength of the trailer, I was like, yo, I'm into this. I'm definitely gonna pick this up, right? So let's start off. I want to start off with I have to say this, right? The beginning of the game is definitely slow. I want to start off with some cons, right? And I don't really want to call this like a big con, because if you play a lot of JRPGs or RPGs in general, we know how slow the pickup can be sometimes, right? With these stories and stuff like that. I think with Sword and Fairy, man, it kind of falls into that trope as well, where I want to say maybe like 4.5 hours. I put about maybe 6 hours into this game so far, 6 or 7 hours. I want to say once I got to like hour 3 or 4, that's when the game started picking up, because you were getting more characters, and you really was able to, like, you was going to other worlds and going to other areas and stuff like that, right? I'm gonna say around like the 3 hour mark or so is when it really starts. 3 or 4 hour mark is depending on how quickly or how slowly, if you're exploring or doing all the side missions and stuff like that. I say that's when it really picks up, right? So you start off as a character. His name is Zhu Wu, right? He's a deity, right? And you start off in like this like demon underworld, and you're trying to escape and whatnot, and then it kind of transitions the story to one of the other characters. Her name is Yu Qing, right? And listen, it's all in Chinese, right? It's all voice acted in Chinese, so it's going to be a lot of reading, guys. Like, if you're not into reading, you might you feel me, you might want to dial it back. Although I gotta say, man, the story does have me intrigued. Even though the start is kind of slow, I do think the story definitely does have me intrigued, right? Where I'm enjoying what I'm reading, and like the cutscenes I think are pretty cool. Although the very first cutscene, you might experience an issue with the very first cutscene once you escape the demon underworld, where it was out of sync. Like the sound was out of sync, but all the cutscenes after that, I didn't have that issue. So I don't know if that was just like a one-off and whatnot, but so far I haven't had that issue with any other cutscenes. So just some quick story synopsis. I'm not going to give you too much, because I don't want to spoil it for those who might pick this up. But I do think that when it comes to the story, it is pretty cool. So the 4 characters that you get to play as is Yu Qing, who is a part of the Manghang sect, which is like their family house or whatever the case may be. Zhu Wu, which is a deity. Bai Mong Qing, which is a part of the not the Tanashi, but the I forgot the other sect that she's a part of. And then Sang Yu, who's also a part of the same sect or house as Bai Mong Qing. And essentially the way the story kind of starts off is you have to you kind of just living your life, and then this deity comes about, and this chosen one comes about, this chosen child, like some golden child type stuff. And the deity overlord, Lord Aozu, he is kind of taking over the body of the chosen child or whatever. And you got these underworld demons called heaven demons. I'm not kidding. That's the name of that tribe or a house or whatever you want to call it. They're called heaven demons. And they're trying to steal the child and kill the deity lord and whatnot. So, you know, they get a hold of this sword called the Chiuzi sword, which you have to go with you and your friends to get all of the spirits throughout the realm so that you can stop them from, you know, get the sword back and stop them from coming back to try to steal the chosen child and whatnot, right? Now, in terms of the combat, right, everybody's play style is different. So Yu Kwang Shu, she is more of like a healer. She uses a katana as well, or a sword, right? And she also has like this this owl, this big owl bird type thing that transforms. It's like this cute little owl thing, and then it can transform into like this big ass bird. It's crazy. And he also fights with you. The name of the owl is called Quang Ling, and it can do like electric abilities and stuff like that. So those are like your super abilities. But in terms of like the combat for Yu Kwang Shu is more of like, you know, it's like, you know, sword attacks and stuff like that. It's you can't mash in this game. It's really weird because in terms of actually playing the game, like I found that like sometimes the combos are they can be a little bit stiff because you'll have like your square triangle or your square triangle, and you kind of have to let one move kind of finish before you can go into the next move. Is very frame specific. Like you kind of have to let the entire attack frame finish before you can go into the next attack motion. It's kind of strange. And then even if you're trying to combo into like one of your special moves, right? You kind of can't just, like, you know how some other combat styles, it kind of flows where you can kind of clip certain moves or you can kind of mash a little bit and then go straight into like your attacks, and it all kind of flows like super quick. In this game, it doesn't really flow that. It doesn't feel as natural. You kind of have to let let one of the attack frames finish, and then, like, for instance, you'll see when I'm using Zhu Wu, so the deity who, well, I'm using what you're seeing right now is Yu Kwang Shu, but when I switch to Zhu Wu, which is the deity, he's my favorite, by the way, because he's got like these heavenly sword abilities and all this stuff. It's really cool. But even when I'm fighting with him, like, you know, even though he's my favorite and he's got like really good sword attacks, you're gonna see me kind of like doing certain moves, and I mean, after a while I got used to it. Like this is like the third boss, or second boss, sorry. So like I'm kind of used to it right now, but you'll see at certain points where like you'll see me kind of standing there trying to like mash a button, and you'll be able to tell like I'm trying to get like one of the moves out, because then it'll come out and then the boss will attack. With Bai Mong Qing, she's got like these magic cards so she's more of like a ranged attack type of player. And do you really like where I'm at in the story? I'm just got her, so I haven't really used her as much. But like she can like use like turn her cards into like fire. Like she can use some of the other elements and infuse them with her cards to do different types of elemental attacks. And she's also got this really cool like hellfire move where like it rains down these brimstone, fire and brimstone type of things, and it's kind of crazy. It's a really cool move. With Sang Yu, I literally, like where I stopped in the story, I just got him, so I haven't really been able to experiment with his moveset just yet. But in terms of like the combat, I do think the combat is cool. I do wish that it was a bit more fluid though. I definitely wish it was just a tad bit more fluid, but for what I've got right now, I think it's pretty cool. In terms of like the RPG elements of this game, it's a lot there, man, because you've got your equipment, you got your different abilities, and there's two different like pages of abilities. So when you hold R2, you'll get like your first 4 set of abilities, but then you can press L1 to switch to the second 4 set. I haven't got all of the abilities and whatnot, but you know, having 2 pages of abilities to choose from when you're in the middle of a fight. I think that's pretty cool. So that's letting me know that there's going to be a lot here. In terms of the other RPG elements, like I said, I'm still pretty early in the game, but in terms of like getting armor and stuff like that, like I did a lot of the side missions in the first village and in the Tanashi section. And you know, you get like different armor pieces, you get money and all this other type of stuff, right? It's got its it's got the usual RPG tropes. In terms of crafting weapons, I'm not sure if you can craft weapons or craft armor, but I do know that you can strengthen your weapons, like by getting some of the materials and stuff like that that's in the world. Because I was able to strengthen Yu Qing's shoes. It strengthened her sword. That was one of like the first like tutorial things they had you do and whatnot. But so far, man, I'm really into the story. I'm really into the world. It is a beautiful game too. It looks really good playing on PS5, and I haven't really experienced any frame stutters or frame drops or anything like that. It looks beautiful on the OLED. I'm playing on the LG C1. I just think it's a pretty dope game, man. I really enjoy the game. I really do like the game so far. I'm definitely going to put more time into it this weekend. But yeah, I'm feeling it, man. I think it's cool. I think it's dope. And it's only like $40, $40 or $50 or something like that. So, you know, definitely, you know, if you're into it, I would say pick it up. Just be prepared to read a lot because everything is in Chinese. So you're gonna have to read like all the dialogue. You can't like just listen or whatever. So if that's not your thing, you know, you may pass on this. But listen, guys, I appreciate y'all, man. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. If you picked this game up, let me know in the comments, man. I would love to know your thoughts as well. But it's been your boy Persona, and I'm out. Peace.